Yeah. Right for
690.
£9.45.
762.
762.
Yeah. I'm going to carry on with that. No, you don't mind going down. How do you do?
Snap time, 20 minutes. The old pit stops for 20 minutes. Normally, the pit doesn't stop at all. It just keeps damn well working. The old 20 minutes. And that runs out to really tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of tons of coal every week throughout the coal industry. And they get that. And it's supposed to be our snap time.
And normally this snap time you don't take, but you're not being paid extra for not taking it.
Well, we're allowed this 20 minutes. So technically, of course, you're allowed 20 minutes. But most of us don't take it. It's too much of a nuisance, so we don't take it. You might be in the middle of the face. You're all right, crawling off the face, maybe 200 yards, maybe going nearly half a mile where your bread is and eating this, and then all coming back. It's just not worth the bother. But if they want to be like this, well, the miners said, well, that's it, we take our snap time. And the only way possibly is to, the buzzer goes, so to speak, except in this case, to stop the main belts, and everything has to stop. It's as simple as this. And that's not our fault. We're just taking what is really our allowance. We're not pinching anything. Rather, we've been given the coal and the country coal in actual fact previous to this. It's as simple as this.
When Mr. Heath made his statement in the House of Commons about the three-day week, he had not consulted the trade unions, who will be much affected, or even management. And he did it because Mr. Barber didn't want to raise taxes on wealthy people, and he thought he'd found a better way of dealing with inflation by cutting the wages of working people. Now, this is going to cause terrible bitterness, and this is the problem that we've got to find an answer to, and it's extremely hard, but it can be done.
So you would say that perhaps the three-day working week might have been necessary, but the government should have consulted first?
No, I'm saying that it was done for quite different reasons than the reasons given. It was done to punish the people of this country for disobeying Mr. Heath and Mr. Heath's government. And this is what people are beginning to realize, inflicting terrible damage on us in order to somehow teach us a lesson. And it's really a tragedy that at a time when we need all the cooperation we can get, that there should have been a policy introduced directed so clearly at those less able to defend their own interests.
I should say about £35 a week.
£35 a
Yes.
week?
I average £60 a week.
Is that basic wage?
No, like it's with bonuses, you know, and extra working effort.
How are you going to manage?
Well, I suppose like a lot of other people, give up my beer. I like my beer.
Are you married?
Yes, I'm married, yes.
Does your wife work?
Well, she, at the moment, not with a power cut. She's got no work.
What do you think of the situation?
Personally, I think communists are behind this. That's I think the basic principle is communist domination. I think they can't get in through the parliament, so they get in through the unions.
Well, definitely blame the government. I think they've got a country and a state and they're looking for a scapegoat.
You don't blame the miners?
Not at all.
Well, I think, to my mind, I think the miners should go back and help the country out because we're in such a bad state as it is. But I think they should go back.
In fact, it's really start shrinking, they may not feel that the miners have got some part in to blame.
Well, the fact that people will suffer hardship over an extended period would make no difference to the principles. And working men, you know, have got plenty of principle. Once they see that there's a case being submitted that ought to be recognised for what it is, then what they think is that the people who are causing the dispute, and that is the government themselves, ought to be getting the lead out of their fields and paying that which the miners are entitled to.
Thank you very much.
Police, they were certainly not in the 6 this morning. Yes, we're agree with
The object of this energy in all its forms during the present crisis, and to make the most effective use of available energy and to minimise, where possible, hardship to employees.
Prices have been that inflicted on us. I think we've then got to try to ensure that we share that power that we have fairly. I think I would say that
extraneous light and heating should be at all times cut off to enable the full use of the energy that we have available to go to productive processes.
Well, I'm glad you said that because in fact we've had 2 or 3 days immediately after Christmas where the office heating could not be switched on. And I'm very happy.
Do you think that the Conservative Party will suffer damage if small firms, small shopkeepers, suffer disaster and perhaps bankruptcy as a result of the 3-day week?
I think that there may be, if this goes on for some time, I think that there is going to be great difficulty. But of one thing I'm certain, that if the incomes policy which the government has laid down is breached, then everybody in this country is going to be worse off. And of course there are siren voices which say, oh yes, give in to the miners. I've known this all my life. I remember it first of all at Munich. It was easier to give in than to resist. But in the end, when you give in, when you've made a generous offer of this kind, when you have an incomes policy that you have to keep, in the end you're going to be worse off, and every man, woman and child in this country will be worse off if you don't hold the line on a sensible incomes policy.